Minnesota approving progressive legislation is expensive and unsustainable. The state's health insurance program expanded to include illegal aliens at the beginning of this year.
Just over 3 months later, enrollments have spiked. More than 17,000 illegals have signed up to Minnesota Care, more than double the 7,800 projected.
Now, the cost could hit a staggering $600 million over 4 years, nearly triple what was expected. Joining us now, Minnesota State Senator Jordan Rasmusson. How do voters feel about this in the state? What are you hearing?
Minnesotans are recovering from a spending spree under Governor Tim Walz, where he took an $18 billion surplus and turned it into a $6 billion deficit in just 2 years. And one of the ways he did that was by taking tax dollars and funding free health care for illegal immigrants. And what I hear from Minnesotans is that they want us to put their family's budget first, not put illegal immigrants first.
Senator Rasmusson, I hope that Walz and his ilk, the lefties, understand that you can't take federal dollars to cover illegal aliens in your state Medicaid. I know they know that, but money is fungible. And just like in California, they've cooked up a little money laundering thing through a legal loophole where they funnel money into the state from the federal government, from federal taxpayers, to try and fill the hole that is created by all the illegals who are on the state Medicaid. So I hope that the feds come a-calling if they try and do that.
The sad thing here in Minnesota is that Governor Walz in his budget this year is proposing $1 billion in cuts to Minnesota nursing homes and for services for families with disabilities. But he is sticking by his taxpayer-funded health care for illegal immigrants and is refusing to cut a dime there. And so he's putting illegal immigrants ahead of seniors who need nursing home services and families with loved ones who have a disability. And that's wrong.
Well, that's, precisely the reason why he lost, why Kamala Harris lost, because Americans wanted to be put first, to your point. I also want to get you on this. So some other Minnesota news, Attorney General Keith Ellison filing a preemptive lawsuit against the Trump administration to keep men in women's sports.
This is just another example of how out of touch Minnesota Democrats are with everyday Minnesotans. Minnesotans want us to protect women's sports. And here you have Minnesota Democrats ignoring the Trump administration's executive order to basically put women's sports under threat. And here in Minnesota, we had Riley Gaines come here recently, and we put forward our proposal to save women's sports. Every single legislative Democrat here in Minnesota voted against it.
Let's let the audience listen to Mr. Ellison and what he actually had to say about this. Take a listen.
These are bullying tactics, plain and simple. And I've been around my share of bullies in my life. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you can't give them an inch.
The White House hitting back, calling Keith Ellison's lawsuit, quote, creepy and anti-woman. And what he is, and here's what they said: why would a grown man sue the Trump administration to allow other biological males to participate in women's sports? Senator, before we go, what is bullying is what he's doing so biological boys can beat up on women and force themselves, even in a women's locker room, force women to be in their presence naked. That's what he represents.
Minnesota Republicans, we're going to defend women and the rights that they secured in Title IX. And unfortunately, you have Democrats in Minnesota and across the country that can't even tell you what a woman is. They can't even define the term. And so we're going to continue to call out the radical policies of Tim Walz and Democrats here in Minnesota. And I think people are waking up and understanding just how out of touch the Democrat and the far left policies are from what everyday Minnesotans want us working on.
I mean, you've got a governor who wants to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. So there's that.
Tampon Tim, love to call him
Tim.
that. State Senator Jordan Rasmusson, thank you so much.